There we go. All right. Y'all, happy Tuesday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is episode 2 of After the Leap podcast. I am your host, Kayla Davenport, and with me I have the lovely Shanika Griffin, who is a good girlfriend of mine. She is awesome, she is inspirational, she is motivational, but I'm not going to steal her shine. Shanika, how are you,
Oh,
lovely?
I am amazing. Thank you for having me, beautiful.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. You guys, disclaimer, I have a new setup. So if I'm looking down, that is so I can actually see Janika because my camera is up here. So please don't think I am being weird or anything. So Shanika, I want to get started by talking about all the things that is you, all the hats that you wear. Share a little about what you do.
Okay, so I like to say that I have an umbrella. So under those different umbrellas, it's Max Living with Shanika. So what Max Living with Shanika does, I'm a realtor. So I'm a real estate agent in South Carolina. I'm also an author. I wrote the book Unshakable Faith, the ABCs of Healing. I'm also the founder and the owner of Unshakable Faith Apparel, which I'm wearing one of my shirts now, favorite, and you have one of the shirts on as well, but we'll touch on that, the different collections that we have a little later. But also, I'm also a life coach, and I have a nonprofit called Unshakable Foundation that we just got started, and we specialize in mentoring teen girls.
You guys, as you can hear, she wears many hats, many hats. So to give you a little background on how me and Shanika met, we met through a good friend of ours named Chris, because we are both into real estate. I met Shanika, I want to say last year or the year before. And there's some people that you meet, and I feel like that's me and Shanika, where it was nothing but motivation. How are you doing? If you need anything, if if you need help with anything. I mean, one time I remember her calling me and she was just like, girl, just keep going. You got this, do what you need to do. And y'all know how rare that is to find in people. So that just shows the type of person that she
Mhm.
is. She is going to keep going, keep pushing. And I titled this episode Hustle and Motivate because if you know who Nipsey Hussle is, that is her. Okay. And you're a mom as well.
Yeah, I'm a mother of 3 very active teenagers. And when I say active, all 3 are in sports. So that's one of the hats that I wear as well. But again, I still have that same motivation with myself of keep going. I don't think it's fair to stop your kids from doing anything just because you have a mission for yourself in life. So my mission is to be their mom as well and to keep pushing them. So yes, mother I am.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm sure that is one of the major things that pushes you to do what you do, you know?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So tell us where this journey got started for Shanika. What was that first moment where you realized I might want to do my own thing. I got it in me to do my own thing.
Well, I feel like, energy is everything. And I often like what I vow to do is just follow my spirit. So 12 and a half years, I was a paralegal investigator. Well, everything has an expiration date. And I knew that I was, approaching my expiration date because of it just didn't, feel the passion wasn't there anymore. And I remember just taking a moment saying, like God just put me where I'm supposed to be at, and I believe in the power of the divine. So I gave it some time and I gave it patience, and it just led me down the road of not only becoming a real estate agent, but it led me down the road of creating Unshakable Faith Apparel. And it write the vision, make it plain. And that's exactly what I did. I wrote the vision back in 2019 and I just started letting it just come to me. And as it came to me, I just was obedient and I just followed my spirit with everything that I've done. Even with writing a book, I followed my spirit. And I'm so happy that I was obedient because of the results of it. Not only did it make me a better person, but I'm able to pour into other people just, you know, with what I have. And I just feel like that's just something I thrive off of. You say I like to I motivate people, but it's natural. I feel like it's either in you or it's on you, and it's just in me. And so I feel like since it's so natural, I wanted to just create something to where I can be there even without even being there.
Absolutely. I love that. It's in me, okay, not on me. I
Yeah.
love that. That need to be a shirt, sis, and purchased. Size
And
medium,
purchase.
okay? Um,
Okay.
but I think that I love that. And that is true. And you can always tell when it's like it's really in them because
Yeah.
you don't quit. And it's not just you. I see how you promote your friends and your family and how it's not just work. You push
Yeah.
for taking care of oneself, mental health, being, like you said, you believe in following God and taking the right steps that are given to you for your vision, and you
Yeah.
push people for that as well. So what was real estate, or was it Unshakable Faith apparel that came first for you?
Unshakable Faith apparel came first. As far as the vision of it, it came first, and again, I let it just kind of sit. And I came up with six different collections, and I just like the shirt you have on, peaceful and powerful. I feel as if when you have God's peace and God's power in you, you're unstoppable. The shirt favorite that I have on, we tend to associate blessings with things that's happening, or maybe money or a job. But if you just realize, so even when those things aren't happening, you realize the favor that you have on your life, it's a reminder like, I am favored. Even though this situation may not look how I absolutely want it to look, but I just have to go back to my mindset of I am favored. So it just became a lifestyle brand that I wanted to create. See you later. That I wanted to create, just so it can be a reminder, because on our good days, we can put our shirts on, right? And we can walk through looking all pretty. But what about on our bad days? What about on the days where we couldn't come up with the money for the bill, or or this job didn't come through? We have to remind ourselves we are favored.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I just wanted to cover those two collections since both of us have that shirt on.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up because before we got on the live, you guys, I just had to tell Shanika, like, she seems to pop up when I'm in these little modes of like sadness or just anxiety or just overwhelmness. And the first time that happened was I had ordered some shirts, and she ended up sending me some extra stuff with my package. And this ended up being one of the shirts. So I don't even believe I ordered the shirt. I ordered some other shirts from her, and I got this one, but this one makes me feel so like it just, first of all, the
Magnify.
color, and it's what it says. And like, I love the favorite ones. I want the one in black, sis, but I love the shirts, and it's kind of how I am with the bracelets. It's like, I want to put stuff on it that make people feel good. So it really does do that. Your vision is coming to light for sure. I just want you to know that because,
Yes.
and then now today, like yesterday, I was having this moment of like, nothing is working, nothing is coming together. I felt all over the place, which is conversations me and you have had already. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And I kind of just thought about you and how we're having our podcast tomorrow and how that's going to be a great conversation because you're one of those people that I talk to and I leave full, like I leave like,
Yeah.
okay, that was good. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it just kind of helped me get through the day and like, okay, focus on your podcast.
No.
So I
Yeah.
just want to say I appreciate you for that because you just put a little extra on things.
Yeah.
So
You are more
thank
than welcome. And
you.
I often, and a lot of people, I think a lot of people see me probably on social media and see that the smile and but again, I utilize what I created to keep me like whole, to keep me intact, because I often have to remind myself the same thing when I'm feeling down, or when I'm sad, or when I feel like I'm not doing enough. I have to remember, hey, live in the now. And oftentimes that I think that when we get so bothered and the anxiety kick in or the depression kick in, and we're either thinking too far in the past over something that don't even exist, or we're thinking too far in the future. But I am at my best when I am just living in the now. And that sometimes that takes several moments in the day to remind myself, hey, recenter yourself, live in the now, control what you can control, and let go and let God of what you can't control.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, what would you say was the biggest thing that made you step out of your comfort zone?
Girl, when I quit my job, when I quit corporate America,
Talk about it.
I I quit corporate America, and it was just like even though it was like a 6-month process of just thinking, like, so it was just thinking. So it's like, are you gonna do it? But had I
Mhm.
not done it, like God forced me in a position to where I had to face myself. But in order for me to do it, I had to let go of certain things. And I never knew it was gonna be my job or my career that I thought I was gonna retire at at the age of 60 or whatever the retirement age is. But when I let that go, obviously I let go of my financial security, but I gained so much internal wealth. Like, I've obtained so many things in life, the external wealth. But to gain the internal wealth, oh my God, that was a life-changing experience. And it gave me time to sit and face myself. And I wrote a book. I wrote a healing book, and I peeled back the layers of 35 years, layers. And I went back to all the way back to 6 years old. Anything that I felt, any negativity in myself about, and I faced it, and I realized, like, was it in your control? Was it out of your control? I forgave. I forgave myself. I forgave other people, and it was just a life changing moment. But had I not took that leap of faith, I wouldn't have never. Well, I don't know, but I feel like taking that leap of faith got me where I was at right now.
For sure. For sure. I would have to agree. That would me leaving my job was like that. Okay, girl. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like
yeah,
there are some moments that's like, you do this, you for real can't go back, sis. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And
yeah,
that was one of them for
yeah,
me. I have to agree.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's where you see who the fakers and the makers are.
yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
don't mean that like, if something happened and you don't succeed the first time,
Mhm.
that's not what I mean.
Yeah,
But you see who really,
yeah,
really is really about that. You know what? I really have this push. Something is tugging on my heart. Something I know this gonna work.
yeah,
Like, just follow me. I
yeah,
know this gonna work. So
yeah.
that I would have to agree.
So
So,
so oh,
oh,
I'm
go ahead. I'm
sorry.
sorry. Go ahead.
So my brand is Unshakable Faith. And so, I feel like God tests you before he blesses you. And I had to go through that test of unshakable faith. And every opposition you can think of came against me. Every opposition, from like financially, my children, like everything. And so it was just a test of, are you going to stand firm? Are you going to remain unshakable? And so in that moment, again, that's when unshakable faith, that's what I survived off of. And not the company. I'm talking about
Mhm.
my unshakable faith. And so I will forever have that unshakable faith.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And what's funny is God knows I feel how to test you because it's not the same for everyone. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, obviously, I don't have any children yet. So that's not something that can
Yeah.
come at me like it could come at you. But for me, I am very like, I am all about security. I'm all about knowing that I can do what I want to do. I'm,
Hmm.
this real bougie. Okay. So I like to do all that stuff.
Okay.
And it was like, oh my gosh, am I going to do this? Even with Charmed Up by Kay, to take that step to say, you know what, I think I need to put real estate down and just focus. That
Focus.
was the hardest thing that was the scariest thing for me because I invested so
So
much
much.
time, energy, effort. I have a clientele base now. And now you want me to leave? You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that's what I'm doing.
Right.
And it has paid me back, in effort and love and enjoyment and all that stuff. But it was like, oh, I can't do that. And then now the extra investments I have to take into it, is, ooh, it's like I'm like nervous. Look, I can't even speak. Like it
Yeah.
makes me so scared, but I'm like, I'm gonna do it anyway because one
Yeah.
thing that I can say for certain is it always works out. It might not work out the way I thought it was gonna work out,
Yeah.
but it works out. So
Yeah.
100% agree. And I kind of feel like jewelry was a gift to me. Like it sounds
Yeah.
like Unshakable Faith, your book, your t-shirts, and I know real estate, but since that was the first vision that you got, it sounds like that one was a gift for you. You know, it has
Yeah.
multiple layers of meaning for you, kind of like Charmed by K does for me.
Absolutely. And so when God give you the vision, keep going. Even though it may not seem like it's making sense, but keep going and you'll be happy that you were obedient. And I was actually obedient with becoming a real estate agent as well, because even with being a paralegal investigator, I was still in the help field, but I just knew that I had enough of that world and I still wanted to help people. So now, even with getting people in houses, it's about the impact for me. All the success stories behind helping those clients, like I don't, mention it on social media, but the impact behind it is amazing. I love the impact. So it's just the impact for me.
For sure. It can
Yeah.
definitely be more of a selfish um feeling sometimes. Like it's like that made me feel good, you know. I don't know how
Yeah.
you feeling, but I feel good. So can definitely relate to that. So
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
your best hindsight 2020 story after taking that leap? So you made your jump, now we're like trucking along. What's something that you like, I will probably never do that again, or is really good advice that we might not know?
Oh, I mean, obviously quitting your job and not knowing your next financial move isn't the smartest thing, but I don't regret anything that happened. I feel like everything is everything. Everything happens for a reason. And I look at life with wins and lessons, no losses. So I wouldn't change anything about what I've done. I used to have the mentality of just thinking like, oh my God, I've wasted all these years of my life and now I'm woke. No, I'm happy to have went through those experiences. So I'm grateful and I just want to continue to just become a better version of myself. That's my aim. Every time my feet hit the floor, I'm aiming I have another day, another chance. So I wouldn't change anything about the last, you said 2020, right?
Well, I'm saying like a hindsight 2020 moment, like something that you like, okay, looking back, I probably wouldn't do that, or I would do that, like something that
I would
you stumbled
I
across.
think I was right on track. That was my awakening. When COVID hit, that was my awakening. I took advantage of it. So that's what I stumbled
Amen.
upon. Yeah.
Amen. That was me
Yeah.
too, honey. That was
Yeah.
I.
Yeah.
Listen, I know that's not
I'm grateful.
necessarily.
Yeah.
I know that's not necessarily like the best thing, but that time period, it was stressful, honey. But that time
Yeah.
period, that is probably like one of my biggest, people call
Yeah.
them testimonies, but I don't know. It's like a hindsight story for me. Like looking back, that was a mess. That was
See,
crazy.
looking back, I am grateful. I am so grateful I was able to face myself. I had got a better understanding of God because before I'm like, don't mention the word. Like I feel like people was forcing, like, and I always thought it was like a religious type of thing. But no, that was my spiritual awakening, girl. I don't regret
Yes.
anything from those moments of 2020 moving forward.
Amen. I agree.
Yeah.
100% agree. That's when
Mm-hmm.
I fasted properly.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, what was really worked for me, that's when I was journaling. I like could really understand my feelings. I 100% agree. 100%
Yeah.
agree. That was
Yeah.
me as well. So what's next? What's next for you?
What's next now? Anybody who know me know that I take my pause breaks and I just pop out. I
That
pop
is
out.
very
But
true.
so one thing I will say is I've been getting some great feedback about the different colors, especially this white and gold. Oh my God, they went crazy over this white and gold this weekend. We got our orders completed today. They're going out. But so what's next is just catching up with all my collections that I do have. And we're just gonna revamp the colors in it. So just keep making y'all come on back for some
Yes.
more colors. But yeah, other than that, I mean, as far as I'm sorry, okay, I went out for a second. the next thing that we're going to do is continue to just get our nonprofit out and about in the community, because Unshakable Foundation is a community outreach program where we all, like I said, where we also mentor teen girls. So that will be the next thing, pushing our nonprofit out.
Okay. And so what type
Yep.
of programs or events do you host with your nonprofit?
Well, doing we do the typical charity events as far as doing like the holidays. We donate to the shelters. So, I don't kind of put that on the forefront of things. I feel like that is more of an intimate thing for me to do.
Okay.
So I do that behind the scenes, but that's part of our outreach program, that we do we do our shirts and we donate to the teen girls and the guys that's in shelters. So
Okay.
like I said, that's my targeted audience, but it's more to come. We'll be out and about. We're formulating our program now. I've collaborated where I'm at now with the House of Hathor. So they have a youth mentoring program, and I'll be the female mentor for the females. So, yep. So all of that is to come, and I cannot wait to make those big announcements. And so when I became a life coach, that's what I decided to gear my target or audience to.
Okay. And I remember that you have a talk show, Coffee and Real Estate. You're still doing that as well, right? Where you give people advice on real estate?
So that was my last year thing that I did. And so, everything is all about just not trial and error, because it didn't fail. So Coffee and Real Estate, I got something in the works for that as well. So you just have to stay tuned for that one. I just recently did a Coffee and Real Estate in my neighborhood, where I brought the coffee truck out to my neighborhood and I treated my neighbors out to coffee. So that was awesome.
Okay.
So yes.
Some more
But
marketing. Mhm.
listen,
That was a
so
good idea. Okay,
but
sis,
it's
that was
but
good.
it
How
was
did that go?
Oh my God, it was so amazing. It's videos on my Facebook page. So the videos and the pictures of it, but it turned out really good, just to be able to mingle, network, and even if they wasn't ready to sell their house, it wasn't all about just getting a sale, but it was all about just connecting. Networking is very important to me. I don't meet a stranger. So it was super cool just to, meet the neighbors and
Mhm.
speak with them on a good old Saturday morning.
Absolutely. And so
Yeah.
let's talk about your book, Unshakable Faith, and also commercial break. Plug where people can find you on all of your social medias and all of your.
Absolutely. Okay, cool beans. So briefly, Unshakable Faith, the ABCs of healing. So I just let the divine guide me when I wrote this book. So each chapter, obviously starts with the letter. And whenever I peel back the layers, it was not a tell-all book, but like I say, each chapter represents. So just for instance, we have our G, it's gratitude. And so just talking about, like, when we put gratitude first, we tend to forget about the problem once we realize, again, we're living in that now. And we think about the gratitude, our A, acceptance. I do feel like time does heal, all things, but also acceptance too. If we don't accept what is, how can we really move forward from it? So like I say, every letter represents a word, and behind each chapter is a journal. So you not only have a book, you have a journal as well. So you're able to write and get through that chapter yourself, whatever your personal experience may be, or whatever you may need to accept. And then would be our boundaries. What healthy boundaries do you need to set? I was living a life without boundaries, and a life without boundaries is a life out of control. So I'm happy to have set healthy boundaries for myself. So it's just steps of my principles that I live in life, what keeps me whole and what works for me. I would just want to pour out to people and to possibly see if it could help them as well.
Absolutely. And where can everyone find you really quick? And I'm gonna let you do it at the end again, but just wanna let
Okay.
you put a little plug in for all your social media.
Okay. So on Instagram, where my personal page is Max Living with Shanika, and then Unshakable Faith is Unshakable Faith Apparel, and that Unshakable it doesn't have that extra E in it. It's UNSHAKABLE Faith Apparel. And then on Facebook, you can find me Shanika Griffin, and with Unshakable Faith, it's Unshakable Faith Apparel as well.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
So next question I have for you is, what led you? I know it was your vision, but was there something in life that also pushed you to that point? Like for me, it was my job, and it didn't
Yeah.
sound like you were unhappy with your job. It was just time. Like,
Yeah.
you had an urge. So did something else give you that, like, okay, for real, I gotta go, or it was just like it kind of happened naturally for you?
I just kept putting out that I want to just become a better person. And I knew that my heart and what headspace I was in, it was great. At least I thought it was great. But I just kept affirming that I wanted to become a better person. And this is the path that I was led on. And I just followed the instructions. And again, every day it just feel, it feels good it feels good to be like a good person. And so and I just kept wanting to be better and better. And and this is where I was led.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And was there any key persons in your life that was instrumental in that journey for you? You don't have to give any names,
Yeah.
but did you have mentors, or do you believe
Yeah.
in mentors?
So I mean, at the time, I'm not afraid to say, like, at the time, like I love therapy. So obviously therapy. So I tried therapy. Then, you have your friends that are positive, but the one main person that I circle back to was a
Mhm.
person who gave me life, my mom. And it just became way bigger of a bigger picture. And I remember facing my mom saying, "Hey, mom, I need you more now than I've ever needed you before." And it's just amazing, like, just the journey from there, how much of a guide. So, when we're growing up as teenagers or even young adults, we reject and we think that, oh, our mama just fussing at us again or just telling us what to do. So now I'm just like, no, hey, tell me what to do. Like,
Right.
so yeah. And then, her husband, just like I said, the House of Hathor, they own the House of Hathor. So her husband, Jimmy, they both were great guides to me, because I remember just saying, I feel so alone. And he just kept telling me, you're not alone. And I'm just like looking around like, yes, I am. I'm doing everything on my own, but I was only alone because that's what I was telling myself. But I was
Right.
surrounded by just those two right there, so much
Mhm.
love and so much guidance.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure. And I think people underestimate needing key people, not
Hmm.
everybody. You
Yeah.
just need
Yeah.
your few, because you start
Yeah.
adding too many, the bunch
Yeah.
gonna ride, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
And I gotta agree there too. It was my mom. My mom,
Yeah.
I mean,
She's
even
so
when it sounded
amazing.
crazy to her, even when it sounded, what did you say? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
No, I said she's so amazing, your mom.
Oh, I love her. I have a deeper appreciation for her now
Hmm.
because, like, she was real. She's like, listen, I don't know if you're really gonna do it, but if that's what you want to do, all right, here's how you
I
can do
support it.
it. So even if she didn't understand, she wasn't necessarily like some people. I hear how they can say their parents like just put them down. No,
Yeah.
she was like, listen, this is what you gotta do. She was honest when I needed to take stuff to prayer and be
Yeah.
internal about my stuff. No one else could help me. And that's
Yeah.
some advice that you can't take for granted. And
Hmm.
it's not just my mom. She introduces me to people who are very similar, because birds of a feather truly do flock together.
Yeah.
And my mom, I have to
Uh,
agree.
yeah.
And has
Yeah.
that changed your relationship with your kids in turn, kind of, because you're like, oh my gosh, I see. Not that anything was wrong.
Hmm.
I'm just saying, when we learn differently and appreciate people differently, it in turn helps me appreciate the people that I love a little bit differently.
Yeah. So it helps me handle, definitely, it happened at such a great time in life, because my kids are, especially my oldest, she's 17. So now I'm able to handle my kids with more grace, more patience, just by, just changing the dynamic of me and my mom's relationship. And so we think that we're here to control our children, but we're only here to be a guide to them. So the better person, the better the more I better myself, the better of a guidance I, become for me. Okay, let me get the words right. The more I make myself better, the better person I am for my children.
For
and
sure.
a guide for them. So we was raised off of you do as I say, not as I do. But I try to, say the right things and do the right things, but also just let them know I'm human too. So I know how
That's
to,
right.
I know how to apologize to my children. I know how to listen to my children. So yes, it just all of that, the whole dynamic just changed, period, with my kids, with my mom. Yeah.
Hmm. And it's amazing how much that starts with self, right? Like,
Hmm. Everything starts with self. This will be my only job, me. When I wake up every day, that my only job that I will work hard on is me.
mhm,
Me.
that's
And
right.
from
And listen,
there,
that's the
yeah,
hardest if we being honest, okay?
yeah,
Because no one's worse
yeah,
to us than us if we be for real.
yeah. But
So,
it's only the hardest when we have to fight against, when we have to fight. A lot of people say higher self, lower self, good energy, bad energy. So because it's so easy to do the negative, or it's so easy to think negative, but it's hard to bring us back to the positive. It's hard to bring ourselves up out of something. So that's what the hard, so we have like really conditioned ourselves thinking that, being the positive and good energy is hard. It's really not. We just have to turn it around and make it more of a habit than, sitting in a depression or sitting in the anxiety or letting it take over us.
mhm. And what I think it is sometimes is that all I know is strong. All I
Yeah,
seen is strong. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, this is a weak moment. I can't be weak because I ain't see my mama act like that. I ain't see my grandmama act like that. I ain't see my aunt
yeah,
or whoever your key
yeah,
people are. That's a lot of times that's what it is for me. I'm like, girl, you
yeah,
need to get it together. You ain't see nobody acting like this. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? People out here got kids and
yeah.
you tripping over this. That's kind of how I think about stuff.
But we beat ourselves up though, but it is okay to not be okay. It's just not okay to stay there. And so it's all
Right.
right. Okay, process your feelings, because I'm the type of person, somebody call me superwoman all the time. I said no, I don't want to be superwoman anymore. I just want to be a super woman. That's
Yeah.
it. Like, I don't want to be that one that's just zooming on go all the time or have to figure everything out. I am so happy to be connected to different people now. I don't have to do everything. And that's just, I don't want to be a superwoman anymore. I just want to live. I just want to live and not survive all the time. So yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes. That's another saying that I love. Realizing that you just surviving.
Yeah, no more
Oh my
survival mode for
gosh.
me. Because that's what you
Hmm.
start attracting. You start attracting survival mode. You start attracting, like, going out here, having to hustle, bustle, and like, yeah. Well, now I'm truly doing what I love, and it does not feel like work. It does not feel like work. So it is a hustle, but it's a good hustle. It's a good hustle. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So before we go, I want to ask all of my guests, who is someone that I might not know that you would think is perfect for this show?
Who is
Hmm.
perfect for the show?
Hmm.
Um, I have a few. I just spoke with someone before I got on the call with you, and I said I was gonna recommend her to you. I would love to tell you that in private, though, if that's
Okay.
okay.
Hmm.
But I think she would be a great candidate as far as just that leap. She went through, something very tragic in life, but she's very motivational, and I think she can help a lot of people, especially people who have children of teenage age.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, but I will get you her information.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you being on here today. Thank you. Thank
Thank you
you
for
so much. Any
thank you
last
for having
words?
me.
Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate it. I love you. You're
Yeah.
welcome anytime. Listen,
Yeah.
when you drop your next collection, come on and please, I have my Charmed by K platform. So
Yeah.
if you ever want to hop on there, show off your merchandise there,
Yeah.
let me know. We'll
Yeah.
love to.
Well, I'm all about collaboration over competition. I would love to. I'm going to purchase some of your stuff so I can promote you in my videos and my content that I do. So yes, absolutely, because you got some good stuff, girl.
You. Thank you. Thank you. I'm definitely trying. Well,
Yeah.
I love you, my good friend, and I appreciate you. And thank you all for watching After the Leap podcast. And I know you can't see comments, but you definitely had some people hop on and say hello. I don't know if you know a Miss Moore, a Monique Moore. She definitely said hello. My
Hello,
mom said hello.
Monique.
You do know Monique? Yes, she
Yeah.
hopped on. She said hi. My mom's friend, Michelle Adams, is on. My mom says, yes, Shanika's spirit is so contagious. Absolutely,
Oh,
absolutely.
thank y'all so
Um,
much. And listen, I'm saying the same thing to y'all. So I guess look, energy matches energy.
thank you, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. It's easy when you around, people like yourself.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it is.
um,
Well,
when you
thank you
get
so
on,
much.
you can, huh? I'm sorry.
No, no, I was saying thank you so much. I was just telling you thank you so much for having me on. I love you. I love what you're doing. You keep striving, girl. Keep shining because we see you.
Thank you, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate that, and I'll be reaching out to you soon. Okay.
All right, love. Thank you so much.
All right. You have a good one.
All right, you too. Bye.
Okay, y'all. That was awesome. Y'all, thank you so much for watching After the Leap podcast, episode 2, featuring Shanika. Y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed that. Um, we will be back in 2 weeks with another special guest, but I'm not going to release them just yet because I don't have a title for them yet. And I want to thank everyone for being here, and I appreciate you. Bye, y'all.